Welcome to the review of the Hikvision DS-7616NXI-K216P. The reason why I purchased this because it's an advanced system. This company has been around since 2001. Now, I'm well aware that Hikvision does have direct ties to, well, their government in China, but that doesn't matter to me, even knowing the FCC did do a ban on Hikvision devices. But here's my opinion. Okay, you buy an Hik NVR, an American-based security camera company. Guess what good old Uncle Sam will be able to do if you fall into the eyes of the law? They can see you through an American-based camera system. Same thing here. If you do something that I guess it's the interest of China, which I don't know why, they could see you too. But there's plenty of ways you can isolate this thing in a network and get all the features out of it without letting it call back home, as which some people say online. Some network experts will say that, oh yeah, this thing called, it sends a signal back home each time. And I've actually used Wireshark and see it doing its signal back to Hyeongsu, if I'm seeing that right. Overall, I don't really care too much about that. It's just a backdoor. Everything has a backdoor. If you want security, guess what? You're gonna have to get like a camera system and never connect it to the internet if you don't want anyone looking at you. So I don't care about that. They can watch me all I want. I have nothing interesting to show in my life besides my cats and dogs. But let's go ahead and get into this video. Now, I made the mistake. I saw this NVR on eBay, shot an offer on it, seller accepted, thinking this NVR was going to be compatible with my license plate reader, only to find out that the NVR was too old for such a new license plate reader. Oh well, at least I got the hang of the UI and the ecosystem of Hikvision before I got to this NVR. And when we go ahead and set this thing up, I have a little capturing system off to the side that I'm going to use. We'll be able to go ahead and I'll show you how to set this up, add the hard drives to it, and add a camera. So this thing apparently has AI. I just think it's the limited amount of false alerts that older camera systems tend to do when, if you ever had an older camera system from like 2015 or 2013, if it had motion alerts, your phone would be going off to leaves. Your phone would be going off to the neighbor's cat. Your phone would be going off to a shadow that casted over the camera. Very dark times. And in those dark times, if you used one of these systems, which I'm gonna put an image up here, not only that you were not missing out, let's say in the future, you wanted an upgrade to one of these systems, guess what? You have to run new cable because that cable that you have for that system is very outdated, very old. It can be converted over to PoE, which Linovision does have an option for that. I have done it before, but it's so finicky and so glitchy, you're better off pulling new cable. So with these guys here, going back to the whole AI thing, all it's really doing is getting the patterns and rhythms of traffic throughout your house or wherever you place the camera at, and it tries to limit as much as those false positives that those older camera systems would do. I know that from firsthand. I've had customers go, why does my camera system keep going off every 5 minutes? I check my phone and nothing's there. This is why they introduced AI into this thing, so that limits that. I doubt it, but it should limit it as much as it can. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead, take this thing apart, and then show you what it looks like, and then we'll go ahead and get these hard drives installed. There it is. in its glory with its 16 channels. Look at these diagnostic ports. I want to talk about these lights and how important they are. They lost points for that. But the cool thing, the reason why I like Hikvision, not only because, sorry I have to break the truth to everyone, but almost 80% of cameras that you see nowadays are manufactured by this company. You buy from LTS, they have equipment that's from Hikvision. I'll put a picture and a list to every single company that has purchased and manufactured camera equipment and cameras and DVRs through Hikvision. So when you want top of the line, get a Hikvision DVR, because if everyone else is using them as their platform to build up their brand, that means they're good quality, right? So before I dilute off that, this thing has a built-in power supply. I have installed DVRs where they have these giant, massive, honking laptop power supplies, very similar to Xbox 360 power supplies. And when those fail, good luck servicing those. These have a fan in them. These have air that constantly goes through to cool off the power supply. So you shove this into an attic, which I don't recommend, or you shove this into a hot maintenance room because you have no choice, at least the fan on this thing is gonna keep the power supply cool, and that's what you want. I don't know if this thing has fans on it itself, but it does on the sides. But I just wanted to really emphasize that when you're purchasing something like this, you want this thing to be easy to diagnose. You want flashing lights to show connectivity. You're gonna want lights on the front right here. I can see there's an IR emitter here, so you could get a remote for this thing, which is really nice. And you know, the USB ports, at least it has two. It has an HDMI and it has a VGA. So let's go ahead and now take this thing apart and install the hard drives. Now for the hard drives, I'm gonna go ahead and use just an old set of WD Purple surveillance hard drives. It's essentially 8 terabytes, and this should be enough for all the testing that I need to do. Now when you buy this thing on Amazon, they recommend you to buy these hard drives. These are the Western Digital 10 terabyte Surveillance Pros. I don't know the difference between the two, but kind of overkill to have 20 terabytes for a DVR that's gonna have like 4 cameras, to be honest with you. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take it apart and install the drives. Right, my recommendation to you is get an impact gun, put it on the lowest setting. It's faster to take out the screws. I spent a good 10 minutes on the other DVR taking out the screws because Hikvision likes to put really long screws in the recorders.
Now, people call me lazy in the comments. I am. I'm sorry, I just am. Work smarter, not harder, right?
There you go. It's now off. See how it has little teeth here? Those you gotta wedge into this groove so it latches close. The guy who I bought it from, when he worked on this thing, he didn't do it right. And this right here is what's gonna give the power to the SATA drives. And that would plug right into the pin right there. Plugs right in there. Snap center in, that was really satisfying. Next, you need to plug in the SATA cables. This is your data for your DVR. Without this, your DVR won't be able to communicate or write any footage. Get your hard drive screws, which come inside. Like just like that. Oh! This is why you don't use an impact, everyone. Look. This is why you don't use an impact. That was an L. Well, there you go. Both hard drives are now installed after a very horrible time lapse with you know, snapping a screw bolt. So you guys at home can see a lesson that I just learned about using impacts on equipment that doesn't need it. All because I wanted to be lazy. Okay, so let's put the cover on. Remember, these little grooves right here gotta line up with these, or it's not gonna look right. Okay, now we have the hard drives installed. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook this up to my capture card, and then we're gonna get hopefully an image of what the DVR does. Okay, so now it's gonna make you create a password, which I'm obviously gonna pull the keyboard away. Make sure this is a good password. You don't want someone getting direct access into your DVR. That'd be very bad. Very bad. Okay, I just put in my email address. I'm gonna enable Hik Connect. This kind of gives you the ability to remote anywhere. It's gonna go ahead and display a QR code that lets you read their massively long terms of service. And then there's also security questions too, which I would do, which I'm gonna do myself. So draw an unlock pattern so you don't have to enter your password in every single time. I'm just gonna do an L for Luna. Select your time. And then this right here gives you the option, if you want to make this a static IP address, you turn this off, you enter the IP you want it to be selected to, so the router turns off and on, or the DVR turns off and on, which usually it's pretty good at retrieving its original IP address, but if it doesn't, that sometimes makes cameras not connect back to the DVR anymore, depending on your configuration. But for me, we're just gonna enable it because this DVR is for testing. We got 2 hard drives here, we gotta format them. Load to HHD. Let's click next. Right here, if you have this thing directly connected to your network, which I do right here, you can instantly start picking up other cameras. Like right here, we already picked up 2 Hikvision cameras. I'm not gonna mess with those. I'll show you in a second what we're going to mess with. I connect. Yes. And there you go. We're now inside of the UI. This seems pretty nice. I'm gonna go ahead and mess with this. And let's go ahead and add a camera to it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and use this DS-2CD2047G2LU. It's a color view camera, really nice big lens, nice lights on the front. I'm gonna plug it into the port on the back of this DVR. It doesn't matter what port you plug it into, as long as it's on the 16 side of, you know, the 16 ports. As long as it's within there, that's how the camera works. Okay, plug it in. There you go. And now we give this thing a second to load, and if we go into settings, there you go. See here, status connected. It's doing something. There you go. Let's look at the MAC address on this thing. Always look at the MAC address when you're adding a camera. The last 6D82. 6D82. All right, we'll give it a second. And it's live, just like that. So if we go to the live page, there's my setup, if you guys are wondering. We got an Aver Media. Go into this. And it's going right into the back of the switch. So let's go ahead and scroll through the settings of this thing. I wanted to point out a couple things I like.
So one thing it does here is you can do vehicle detection, license plate reading. So if you type in a license plate number right here, you'll be able to go ahead and look through a catalog of similar images with similar plate numbers or the identical plate. Right here, this is human. So this takes pictures and like a snippet of the person's face and catalogs it into a DVR. This is another way. Let's say if you're wondering if a person that you banned out of your grocery store is returning back. Well, here you can look up their photo by their mugshot, and if it shows that they're reappearing within your store, well, the DVR can tell you that because it captures faces and it tracks license plates to vehicles. So to wrap up this video, what I have to say about this DVR is it sucks that it got banned. There is plenty of ways of buying this thing. This is still available on Amazon. You can still buy it. I'll even put in a link in the description to those ones. Now, if you're from outside of the US, buy these all day. If you're within the US, I'm pretty sure you can get away with this for personal use. But when the FCC says ban on everything, I just assume it's a ban on everything. So I doubt someone's gonna come knocking down your door because you have a Hikvision NVR on your own house. If you're putting this on a government building, you'll get into so much hot water you don't even understand. I've done this process in the past, and when I accidentally recommended a Hikvision NVR to a federally owned property as just a proposition, you know, hey everyone, this is what I recommended, they went, hell no, because it was Hikvision. So unless you're federal or you're with the government, this DVR shouldn't even be bothering you. If you want the best bang for your buck, you're getting all the features possible, you're getting really high-end camera, it's plug and play, there's multiple configurations. I could do a 30-minute video on how many configurations you can do with this thing, but I will bore the hell out of you guys. So thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought about doing a video with the license plate reader, but where the camera is pointing essentially doxes where I live, and I can't risk that. So for now, we'll just play with this little buddy right here. If another video comes out with this thing, another video comes out. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this review, and I hope to see you on the next one.